So, today's tutorial is about registration. We're doing the manual registration with the PinPoint software, to be more precise with the PinPoint Registration Tool. The advantage is that we can read BLK data, RTC data in native format, third-party data like E57 or recap projects. For example, if you have Sfaro data in a recap project and the registration is difficult, you can simply import the recap project into PinPoint and continue the registration there. I think PinPoint is very powerful, but that's the thing, when you're used to a different software, you just gotta roll with it. Please take a look at the navigation basics, also known as the navigation basics tutorial, so you can master the operation and then things should go relatively smoothly. So, how do we proceed now? Basically, we structure the registration process into several sub-steps, and I want to introduce them here now. First, we open the project. Like I said, the data has already been imported. There is a tutorial available for importing each of the different formats. Once we have the scans in the registration tool, we can go ahead and start by displaying the scans. Now you could navigate through the scans to determine which scan belongs to which floor or area. Generally, I refrain from doing that. My usual procedure is to access the file menu, select export, and then choose panorama images. As a result, I export a list of panoramic images from all my scans. Subsequently, I utilize this list to navigate through the scans using the arrow keys, enabling me to determine which scan corresponds to which floor or specific area accurately and efficiently. I'll let this export run in the background for now, and I'll get back to you as soon as the export is finished. Now the export is completed. I open up my Explorer, go into the panorama folder, and here are my pictures. If I click on the first image now, I'll get a big view here. Now I've clicked twice. Now I navigate with right and left arrow keys. Indoor area, indoor area, indoor area, ground floor X6. Come on, there was a short staircase, still the bathrooms. Now I'm downstairs in the staircase. Now I'm at the door. That implies that until scan number 38, everything is directed to the ground floor, while the remaining items have been placed in the outdoor area. I know this because I scanned it, So that means I go here, and then I rename this whole thing here by using a double-click action. Can I choose any name, project, whatever, and then I right-click on the project and create a new folder, let's say called Erdgeschoss first floor, or whatever you want to name it, for example, if you prefer. Alright, then I'll take the scans, and then I can select them, so that would be from 1 to 38, right-click, cut, remove them, and then put them in my folder, first floor or Erdgeschoss. I'll do the same for the facade. I'll create a folder called Facade and drag the other scans into it. After successfully completing the project cleanup, our next step is to proceed with the activation of the motion button in order to enable its functionality. That means the scans are shown or, also rearranged. I'm going to go up on the facade now, activate the facade, and then proceed on auto alone. It's important that you have the motion button on so that the scans are movable. If they're fixated, then the whole thing obviously won't work. Then I'll start the auto align process here, and I'll also let you know as soon as it's finished. The registration is complete, we can hide the whole thing. We also see that our outdoor area looks relatively complete. We repeat the process for the next group. Put everything on the move, right click, auto align, and the process starts, and I'll let you know as soon as it's done. So the process is now completed, and here you can already see clearly something obviously went wrong here, which means the process did not run 100% smoothly. Often it's because you had a break here, meaning you left the string of pearls and then just continued at another point, meaning you go into a room, end up at the back of it, and then have to go back to the hallway to connect to the next room. So what will we do? We'll have an orthographic view looking down on it from above in parallel. Then we conceal all scans except the initial one and set all scans to movable except the initial one. And then we can utilize the next button so we can still make adjustments to the resolution here. That's not important right now, we can just skip through the project using the next button. So, press next, next. We can also do that with the end key and see if the scans are aligned properly. We see we've jumped around a bit here, but everything worked out fine. We are running through, coming over here now, naturally scanned in front of the windows, just as it should be. Then back outside the door, and then we are inside of the next room. That's the kitchen in this. And now we see here is the first scan in the wrong position. So now we can move it freely with the left mouse button. And if we hold down the Shift key, we can rotate it also with the left mouse button accordingly and roughly push it into the correct position. Once we have finished that task, we proceed to press the Snap Scans button. So let's continue with next NNN. So press N. Now we have hallway here. So now we are moving from the kitchen to the hallway with the snap scan. Now he is in. Then we take next, next, next again. Now we are entering the bathroom area here. Yeah. And the second bathroom. So you see the majority of the scans are already correctly arranged in their proper order. Now he also found the hallway, and now we're in scan number 38. That means our ground floor is done. Now let us activate all of the scans once more. And at this moment, we are getting extremely close to our target. So that implies the scans are already well positioned. That implies you have to set the option to very close here, and then you can take snap scans again. This is, so to speak, the final registration of this sub-area. That way, the scans are registered cleanly. Then we can display the statistics here, and we can check if we have any outliers in there. Everything looks fine overall. Then we hide the statistics again, and we put on a facade. It's important that we disable the move option. Then we have the facade. We can simply walk very close by. That was already all set up correctly. Let's capture some snap scans here as well. And with that, the registration is complete here as well. Now comes the big question, how do we register the groups? Of course, we can also take a look at the statistics here. And there it is, we're holding a group captive. That means, for example, we make the facade group movable. Then look at it from above, and you can roughly move the object back into position with the left mouse button. With Shift key pressed and left mouse button, we can rotate whole thing. Don't go for snap scans, go for snap groups instead. So we just want the groups to come together. The scans within the group should not be altered. Afterwards, we proceed to a remarkably close proximity. In view of this, it is crucial to note that as a result. Is the final red coming? And with that, our project is now officially registered. We can now take another look at it here at this moment. Looks visually fine from my perspective. So here we are now at the point where we can either go into the cleanup or we can directly output the data here. And then there are the different formats, E57 probably as the most common standard, then the recap format for all Autodesk products. Of course, there are different options here. And of course, you can also switch directly to the PinPoint model. If you require additional information, you can export it under the file option. Here, for example, you can output an unstructured point cloud if you want to use ArchiCAD, for instance, and you want to reduce the point cloud by a certain measure. And that's the end of the tutorial. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and see you next time.